So they have snipers, they have, ready to shoot soldiers who were just waiting for order. And today, this afternoon, this was early in the morning today, this afternoon, they have killed 2 people already. Many people are injured. I'll give you all that recap later tonight. That was earlier today in Lagos, right? In Lagos. They also, meanwhile, the protesters were able to walk straight into Muritala Muhammad Airport in Lagos today. And Lagos state government has declared a curfew. I don't even understand that. Curfew from 4 p.m. Like everybody should go home by 4 p.m. in Lagos. Who does that? Like, for you? Now that everybody is actually out there, you are giving a curfew from 4 o'clock because they are putting pressure on Bodilon. They say na Bodilon, they sponsor the protest. Now they are all running a tasketa to prove to Abuja that, to prove to the lifeless Bokwari that they are not sponsoring it. And they too, they are acting and, overreacting too. So now, they say curfew de Lagos. But for the same Lagos today, this happened after they killed protesters in Lagos. That's really in Agege, where the police in Agege shot and killed 2 protesters. And before you know it, the young people in the area, they mobbed the police station, the police office there, and they raised it down. That's the video you saw there. Meanwhile, in Aba, there's a bit of a warm-up earlier today, because today is the big Tuesday when everybody is going to have to show if they are in the support or against the SARS. That is why they, in Aba is now part of the protest too. Okay, and I'm just waiting for that final call from Nnamdi Kanu, when Mazi will call the Biafrans, the IPOB members, to join the protest. It is getting to that stage now whereby they want to politicize it by building chaos. And when they do that, you need the number to stop those that are going to be sponsored to violently attack protesters. And if the number is massive, nobody will come and attack you. Nobody will attack protesters again. They will begin to go back again. And by then, there will be no going back because they have killed people. That's one thing some people don't know now, that the protest in Nigeria cannot just go away anymore. It's not going to go away anymore. Okay? They have killed people. They killed people before the protest started. They started killing people when the protest started. Part of the negotiation was that they will stop killing people, killing protesters, arresting protesters, but they haven't stopped. They have killed more, and they are planning to kill more. So if anyone is telling you that the protest is going to go away, just anyhow, even those who started the protest, even those who are organizing the protest, they are no longer in control. The government has escalated it. They want to use force, but force will not solve anything. It will just make it worse. And the only thing is that they will eventually bow, and they will bow for the people's power. Okay, so how this is going to go, you and I have no idea. And I'm waiting for when the Oduduwa Republicans, when the people from the Middle Belt, when the people from the Niger Delta, where everybody will begin to realize that keeping Nigeria any further is a sin. It is a crime against humanity. If you love lives, if you love humanity, if you love human lives, right, you will support and join the team and join the rank and file of those who want to save the lives of people, who wants to break up Nigeria. It's going to get there. I've told you, there's no rush. This is no longer about what you wish or what I want. It is now about the numbers of people who actually want things, and they will go for it. Okay? So some people will back out. Some people will join. It is going haywire. And that is why I'm waiting for other declaration in Lagos today. But before we go back to Lagos, right, let's stop by in Aba. This happened.
Still on Mazi Manuel Obodina reporting live and direct from Aba. You can see our people is formidable. You can see live and direct. We are here in Aba. This is Aba City University on a peaceful rally, telling the Nigerian government and the world that we must end SARS. This is Nigerian youth. We must end SARS. We don't support the SARS. Abia State don't support the SARS. Aba don't support the camps. We must end the SARS. We must end the SARS. The world can see that. We must end the SARS. Stay tuned. More updates is coming. Mazi Manuel Obodina reporting live from Aba. We are now at Power Line. This is Power Line in Aba, Abia State. The youths are very, very angry. We are strong and we are formidable. Nobody can stop us.
Did you see that? Yes. These are just, they are just like tidbits from what is going on everywhere. Some of you are already catching up everywhere as well. But Mayegun's Diary is a platform where you can actually get a comprehensive detailed report in a single show. And you will enjoy it from the beginning to the end. You know what I mean? So that's one thing about Mayegun's Diary. And that is why, remember, you should subscribe if you haven't already. And if you have subscribed and you haven't really set up your notification, do that too. You can personalize it, right? You personalize when I upload just videos. You can personalize when I'm live. You can do all of that. It is detailed. That's from Aba. Let's go back to Lagos, where the young people today, for the second day, took over the Lagos State International Airport. Muritala Mohammed International Airport in Lagos. A good one. That's them moving in. We have not received the latest reports from Lagos today. But however, we'll do more. But you see, there's this narrative that they are trying to push in Nigeria, and their media is doing a lot to propagate or showcase the EndSARS protesters in a bad light. They are doing it deliberately. They are doing the government work. My Oga there, Shola Amj, thank you very much for your super chat or super sticker there. Kate, oh dear, Kate Kokunona, thank you so much for your own super chat as well, and thanks to all of you who are joining. Copy the link of the video, share it on Facebook, share it on Twitter, share it everywhere you think. On WhatsApp too, if you have all this WhatsApp group, tell them Mayegun is live, which is fantastic. You know what I mean? So let us continue. So we have the impression from their media telling that, trying to give conditions to how people should protest, why the protesters should leave the road and all of that, because they feel like they are not concerned, they are not affected, right? There are some people like that in Nigeria who feel like this whole thing is, they don't have any problem with SARS. They don't have this or that. And because of that, if you have problem with SARS, don't disturb me. I want to go to my own work. What about those who never really had any problem with SARS, but they were just sitting minding their own business and they get killed by the stray bullet of SARS? What about those of you who are living under that draconian system that gives you no electricity, gives you no healthcare system, gives you no good road, gives your children no good education, no security to protect you? Your young people, your young children are jobless and unemployed. And if you say that doesn't affect you, then probably you are a politician. And if you're a politician and this is not affecting you, or you claim not to affect you, then we know that it's because you are the problem. You should never have peace. Okay, there should be no peace for the wicked. And if you think because it hasn't affected you yet, it's because you have not even been asking the question, or you have been living in denial. And I love how Force treated this issue when they threw the same question at him, that the people who are protesting should remember those who have other business. What business do you have when your country is burning? When the young, vibrant, energetical population, of your population, numbers of your population being attacked and killed systemically. How can you be so comfortable with that? Listen to this.
The studio just had to say, talking about the inconveniencing of road users, how it's being perceived. Of course, we have two sides to the story that have just been told here. What's your take?
I find it funny that that he would even ask, that is there any way to protest while at the same time allowing business to carry on, people that want to go to work? Why are you even thinking that business should carry on as usual? How can a policeman look me in the eye and tell me, I will shoot you, I will kill you, and nothing will happen? And you're telling me that I should leave the streets, or I should create leeway for people that want to carry on their business? How are you not even concerned that people are getting killed every day? People are being wasted. Our youth are being, their lives. Trigger-happy policemen, and you want to carry on business as usual. Isn't this what we always see? That these things happen, nothing ever gets done, and you still want us to allow some people to go to work. You're complaining about traffic. What is traffic to the man that lost his child? What is traffic to the victims of that man, that Akuzu Saz, whatever his name is, that man that killed people and dumped their bodies in the river? What is traffic to those people?
It's a shame, isn't it? And that's the best answer, if you ask me. Is it because you haven't buried your own son yet? Or because you haven't lost someone so dear to you yet? Is that why you are not bothered? You want to carry on your business as usual. It's affecting your business. God help and bless your business if it lasts longer. But I like the way the Port Harcourt boys prepared. When they watched the scene in Abuja, when they saw this, the policemen were doing this to a lady, a woman, who is holding Nigerian flag. Imagine a police officer, the military, beating a Nigerian, holding Nigerian flag. Like what you know, I can't even process it. But I like the way the Port Harcourt boys prepared. But let's first stop by in Abuja quickly before we go to Port Harcourt. No. You see, people were like, why are you going to be beating a lady holding a flag? They wanted to mob them. See the young people. They are still saying, no, don't do that, leave them. And they didn't do anything. They ended up killing 2 of them yesterday. But the Port Harcourt boys, we know the joke. According to what I've been told, this is the message they sent to police in Port Harcourt and the army. They said, this was last night, they said, on Tuesday, which is tomorrow, we they come out. We wanna come and start shooting us, so we wanna go see us there. Yes, and they did come out today. okay, in Port Harcourt, and we have not really received any report of any attack on them, which is great, okay? But a quick one, because I'm going to show you where people actually stood up to the soldiers. Go away, we don't want you. Go away, we don't want you. And they stood their ground, and the soldiers had to leave. However, in some places, they are waiting for order, and we know how they do it, okay? But if you ask me, we captured where or the truck bringing, oh dear, bringing armed thugs into Abuja for one purpose, for a purpose and one purpose only, to attack and kill any peaceful protester they find in Abuja. Take a look at their tour on their way. When
look at them. You understand? I know. This one to go. I don't know. You shall say Baba, say Baba.
Can you hear that? Say Baba, say Baba. You know, like I said, they told them they are bringing them from Zamfara, bringing them from Borno, you know, those Boko Haram places. They are bringing them in and they told them that some Christians are in Abuja. They want to take overthrow Buhari. So Buhari, the presidency, Nigerian government, want to use tribal and religious division, propaganda, to cause the death of many, many Nigerians, the country they are supposed to protect. They are going to neighboring states, northern states, and telling them that Christians are gathering in Abuja to overthrow Buhari. So when they land in Abuja, anybody they see, they want to kill them because they said you will never remove Buhari. You want to remove Buhari. That's the message. They are not telling them that the people are protesting for good governance, for good security, for good education system, to stop corruption, and make even Buhari responsible to them. They are not saying that to them. You could hear them with all the curves and all of that they are holding, weapons and different weapons, shouting, Sai Baba, Sai Baba. They are almost in Abuja. They have been in Abuja now. This was yesterday. That is the country. That is your country. Think about that. I hope you claim it back, as these young men and women eventually presented a play at Lekki Toll Gate in Lagos yesterday. Quite touchy. And I want you to listen before we continue.
Every dream we have, they are stealing from us. Yes. Every hope we have, they are taking from us. Yes. Everything we have, they are taking from us. And we do that. So we understand the language of fear. It's secret alphabet. It's magic sign. It's spread over a city. We know as in the field is our own Wakago also. And not say I feel no come back house. When I meet those men, put some black and white and greeting stars, they will take my life. We know when feet clean, very clean into the heart, congeal his blood, constrict the veins, and stop the rhythm of the heartbeat. And then the music ceases. The dancing stops. Yes. Fear grip the heart of many when darkness falls in the belly of the night.
And that's when they come. With secret feet. Like cats they come. Like tigers and panthers. They room like this.
They were talking, and then it was a play. You know, stage play at the Lekki Toll Gate yesterday, where the EndSARS protest is on his 13th night. Yes, that was not all. Okay, same thing in Owerri or somewhere in Imo State. People actually did their own protests this way.
This is the worst government we have seen. This is the worst government we have seen. Yes, sir.
So their own EndSARS, end bad governance, end corruption, and take away the Supreme Court from our land, right? was really depicted in that video. That was from Owerri. You see, there's this guy who told his own story when he was living Benin jailbreak yesterday. I wanted to hear from him too. But before we go to that, there are some other people in Edo. A lot is going on in Edo State, in Benin in particular. They are killing people there, no joke, right? But I'm going to start with, I think, let me see if I can pick that up. It's one pick I got earlier. But nevertheless, I'm going to stop at Ekiti 2. But let's watch this first. And if you also witnessed the Jos prayer walk yesterday, which was also massive, and people say with so much that the people of Jos have suffered in the hands of the herdsmen and other insecurity elements, terrorists sponsored by government in Nigeria that are killing people all over, you wouldn't expect them to be that much, but they were really much yesterday. But let me show you something. Two things I'm going to show you. Two videos that will tell you that the protesters in Nigeria remain peaceful, orderly, and coordinated. And those thugs that are joining them and trying to cause havoc and all this disruption, they never, ever represent them. First, take a look at this.
Obi, you see, like this.
So can you see that? Those are that's, you know, you can see the faces of the thugs in Benin. Those ones with guns, drinking, and all of that. You know, they are drunk and they are ready to do anything. They are burning chops. There are those who are like instigating those jailbreak, burning down police stations. You can see them there. They don't represent the EndSARS protesters. Because you know what the EndSARS protester, an average EndSARS protester is fighting against a rotten system, right? And it doesn't want to be anything of that same system is condemning. They have been so orderly, they have been so organized, and they have been so lawful in their demands. Let me show you this next video. This is a video of when an average EndSARS protester is not protesting, but doing something else. This is what they do. Can you see the difference between the two videos, right? So when the government and politicians and so many other people who control buy guns for different criminals are now, because they know that the EndSARS protest is going to get to a stage whereby they themselves will be asked to come and answer some questions. And because they know it will get to them, they decided to disrupt it and end it so that business can continue as usual. Can you see the difference between EndSARS protesters when they are not protesting, like asking EndSARS? If they are not doing that, they are busy cleaning the environment where they gathered. That is just for the record purpose, okay? Not like this one that people break out from prison, and they are doing video interview like this.
Freedom! Freedom, man! Freedom! Freedom! Charlie go. 216. Since 216, what do you do? I don't do anything. I found my farm for village. They go arrest me, president. They go arrest me. They put allegation for me. I say I keep us. Okay, and I not do anything. Now they put me for